And welcome to the work session meeting of the Central Valley Board of Education, Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. It's right for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pam, can you call roll, please?
Mr. Annaline?
Here.
Ms. Belcastro?
Here.
Mr. Bloom?
Here.
Mr. Senzo?
Here.
Mr. McDonald?
Here.
Mr. Moab?
Here.
Mr. O'Neill?
Here.
Mr. Ross?
Here.
Mr. Ambrose?
Here. Thank you, Pam. Falco, you want to address the executive session we had?
Yes, the board held executive sessions on October 21st, October 30th, and at 5:45 immediately prior to tonight's meeting to discuss personnel matters and to receive information.
Thank you. Hey, moving on to an old friend, Charlie Rupert, who will speak on the audit report. Mr. Rupert?
Mr. Ambrose, thank you for having me this evening. Dr. Perry and the rest of you, thank you. I handed out presentation and basically our management letter. The audit report compliance part of the audit is still in process, but I thought it was important that I come and update you at least with the financial results. We were here boots on the ground end of September. So here I am tonight. The presentation pages are numbered in the bottom right-hand corner. We're going to start with page 2. The fiscal year for the district is June 30th, 2024. Thing we like to remind everybody is the financial statements is the responsibility of your administration. The audit that we conducted is in accordance with governmental auditing standards. The opinion that you will receive is unmodified, and as a board, that's what you would expect to hear from your auditor. Moving to page 3. In addition to the financial statement audit, when a government receives more than $750,000 of federal funds, we're required to look at particular programs for compliance, and that's the part that's still in process. Moving to page 4. The general fund, which is the daily operations of the district, we brought in $43,700,000. We spent $43,500,000, concluding a net increase of $221,000. At the end of the year, you had a fund balance of $4,992,000, which is comprised of a commitment for PESers of $891,000, a commitment to balance your 24-25 budget of $1,122,000, as well as there's an assignment for some technology that's been earmarked. So your unassigned balance is $1,978,000 that's available for daily operations. Page 5, your capital reserve. Basically, we had some interest earnings there of $1,700, and you have a balance there of $35,900 at the end of the year. Capital projects, this is where the bond proceeds for your construction project. You had $204,000 of some interest earnings, and you spent $2.8 million on construction. At the end of the day, you had $4,100,000 to basically conclude your construction project. Page 7, this is just a graph of the revenues over the past 5 years. And you can see, I want to draw your attention to the bottom right-hand corner to where actual revenues were $43,700,000, and you budgeted right around $43 million. So actual revenues came in a little better than anticipated. Next, page 8. This is your 4 major categories of sources of income. You have tax revenues, state subsidies, federal subsidies, and other income. And you can see there really tight budgeting here. The one number that came in a little better than anticipated was your other revenue, your state revenues, as well as your federal sources. Turning to page 9. Again, this is just a large picture of where you've been with your expenditures. And again, you can see your actual expenditures was roughly $1 million greater than anticipated. Moving to page 9, I want you to draw attention to basically it's two areas. Regular education was a little higher than anticipated. Special education, that's a nice sign. Normally you see you're overspent in that area and you're underspent. You can see all the other areas are pretty tight. Page 11, you can see the one area that you were over. It's in the transportation, and that had to do with revision and who was driving the students around. And you can see you were under in plant and maintenance. So really, all in all here, things were pretty tight. Page 12, this is basically a history of where your fund balance has been. See here, you know, not for those that have been on the board here for 10 years, 8 years, you can see this is a nice trend. And there's a lot of work that's gone into getting to your $4.9 million fund balance. So you need to work hard to keep it. That job isn't going to get any easier. Moving to page 13, you know, your fund balance, your 24-25 budget, you anticipate to use $1.2 million of it if things go as planned. So I just ask you, cross your T's, dot your I's, and let's not try to not use that $1.2 million fund balance. Inner fund balance at the end of the day, the general fund of the cafeteria, roughly $114,000. And that's basically anteing up between the two funds, subsidies being received by one, payroll being incurred by the other on for their behalfs. So we suggested that money is anteed up as soon as possible. Federal programs. Thing I want to bring to your attention is I'll call it the ESSER cliff. We've had 3 years, 4 years, 2020. March 18th, 2020 really changed the dynamics for everybody. But, you know, the districts, governments have been supplemented with ESSER funds. And, you know, a lot of that money was spent on non-reoccurring expenses, but then some of it has been spent on reoccurring expenses, wages. The other thing is it's had an opportunity to update, revamp technology, but in years forward, that technology is going to need to be updated, replaced, fixed. Curriculum was also used that was purchased with ESSER. So that's what I call the cliff. You know, all that money that was supplemented with federal funds is now going to turn into local funds. So that's going to be something to work forward with your operating budgets. The cafeteria had $114,000 profit. You back out depreciation, it was $143,000. That's awesome. Normally, I see cafeterias close to break even or even a loss to where the general fund supplementing the cafeteria. So that's all good. Due to a retirement, you had transitioned your business office. You should be pleased. The transition has gone from an audit perspective relatively smoothly. We had a few areas we had to do some extra work, but it was nothing we weren't able to work through. So you should be pleased with the transition of what has transpired over the past year. Lastly, I want to thank the board. Appreciate the opportunity to be your auditor. If you have questions, please don't hesitate, but thank you.
Question, Ron?
Finance Chairman, you have any questions?
I just one question. I mean, you're talking about the Esser's cliff. I was under the impression the majority of our Esser's funds were not for new programs.
That is correct. What he's saying though is the money, we put the ESSER money towards expenses we were already incurring.
Right.
What he's saying is moving forward, you know, that's part of the help of the fund balance going up moving forward, that money's not gonna continue to be there. So it's gonna go back to, your operating budget as it was, but we anticipated that
Right.
as well. And a matter of fact, as we do budget planning, we do the 5-year projection, we take that into account. Like for instance, iPads. We realize that there's going to be expenses as far as the replacing the iPads. It was. Sure.
Thanks, Tom.
No, I appreciate, great job on the audit, Joan. Thank you for all the work you're doing. Glad to hear from outside perspective that the transition has gone well. I think we all feel the same way. So thank you for all your work too.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions for Charlie? I'd like to make a comment. First of all, I'd like to thank you and your firm for the work that you do here in the district. I want to thank Joan, her staff. I want to thank Pam for all the work they did to get us where we needed to be for the audit. I'm, excited and happy to say we had a good audit, clean audit. And, moving forward, I know that the two of you are going to have a great relationship and going to continue to work hard for the district. So I appreciate, Joan walked into a tough situation, come in, trying to deal with the budget, the audit, all those things like that. And I think she's done a heck of a job with that. And, we'll be even better next year with regards to, your arrival and what you need as we work together. And I want to thank both of you. I think you did a great job with this. So
Welcome.
appreciate it. Appreciate all your dedication to the district.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
FYI, I mean, you and I and your dad go way back.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you guys were here 25 or 30 years ago.
It's been a while.
That's again, you've delivered great audits and want to thank you for the time.
Thank you, Mr. Ambrose. Well, thanks for having.
Throw copies of this. Could you email?
Excuse me.
Can you email the presentation to us?
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
I can scan it and send it to them.
Okay,
Whatever. I can email it tomorrow if you prefer.
thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thanks, Charlie.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Safe travels.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Under routine items, public comments on agenda items only. Seeing none, we'll move on. Minutes. Number 1, to approve the voting session minutes from October the 17th, 2024. Moving over to treasurer's report. Mr. O'Neill is our treasurer.
We have to pay some bills. We're going to confirm the October 2024 general fund payments in the amount of $2,314,260.89. Number 2, to confirm the October 2024 cafeteria fund payments amount of $91,303.06. And number 3, to confirm the October 2024 construction fund payments in the amount of $0. Under B, to approve the October 2024 Berkheimer report.
Okay, thank you. Agenda items. For policy items. Number 1, to approve an agreement with the Beaver Valley Intermediate Unit to provide search and consultation services in order to assist the district in selecting and hiring a qualified, experienced superintendent of schools. Number 2, to approve resolution 2025-02, authorizing participation in the 2025-2026 joint purchasing program with the Allegheny Intermediate Unit. Number 3, to authorize the district officials to consent to the private offer from Robert Cellini to purchase the property located at Hilger Avenue, Lot 370, Bev Hills, PL number 5, Center Township, Pennsylvania, from the Beaver County Repository of Unsold Properties. Number 4, to approve the exoneration of the collection of unpaid school district real estate taxes due on parcel number 56-015-0611.000. Hilger Avenue, Lot 370, Bev Hills Plan number 5 for tax years 1983 to 2023. Number 5, to approve a 3-year contract extension with NRG/Direct Energy for natural gas on the Columbia Gas System with a start date of September the 1st, 2025. The contract will have a basis price of 0.267 cents per DTH, which means decatherm, which is a unit of measurement. I had to look that up because I had no idea what that was. The contract extension was recommended by the Western Pennsylvania Natural Gas Consortium Committee. Number 6, Stozel Glass Tax Appeal Settlement Approval. Based on the recommendation of the solicitor of Stozel Glass Tax Appeal Settlement for case number 2023-00107 is hereby approved a total assessed valuation for 2024 and 2025, $6,900,000. Moving on to item B, negotiation items. Mr. McDonald serves as our chair.
To approve a 6-year collective bargaining agreement between the Central Valley School District and the Central Valley Education Support Professionals Association, PSEA/NEA, commencing 2025 to 2026.
Thank you. Any more comments on that?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Item C, education item. Belcastro is our chairperson.
Number 1, to approve, confirm the release time, staff development requests in the small chart. You see in the first column, the location, the middle, those individuals who will be attending. And then the third column is the dates they will be attending. Number 2, to approve a comprehensive service agreement with the Allegheny Intermediate Unit for the 2024-2025 school year to provide sign language instructions according to a student's IEP at the rate of $178 per hour. And number 3, to approve a 2-year service agreement with Global Wordsmith LLC to provide language translation and interpretation services according to the listed fee scheduled from January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2026. Rates vary by language and students, right? And that is it.
Appreciate that. Technology, Mr. McDonald again is our chair.
And nothing to report for technology at the time.
Okay, thank you. Athletics, item E, Mr. Ross is our chair.
Number 1, to approve the following winter coach and stipend pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. That's boys basketball, volunteer assistant, boys basketball coach Jim Stamos at no cost to the district.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure Mr. Saccone will update us on what's going on with athletics when he speaks this evening. Item F, extracurricular activities. Mr. Analine is our chair.
Some field trips coming up. You can see the destination on the left, the group attending in the middle, and the dates on the right. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. Building and grounds, Mr. Senzo is our chairperson.
To approve, confirm the following building usage requests. There's a chart there, building usage, the organization, the date, and the purpose.
Thank you. Anything else?
No.
Item H, personnel items. Mr. Bloom is our chairperson.
Yeah, we're looking to approve the resignation of Amber Prince, cafeteria worker, effective October 25th, 2024. Number 2, to approve additions to the 2024-2025 ABC/Fry Transportation Bus Driver Aid List pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 3, to approve an unpaid maternity leave request for an elementary teacher, employee ID 1977 from April 25th, 2025 through May 30th, 2025. The employee will exhaust all paid days from February 28th, 2025 to April 24th, 2025. Number 4, to approve the retirement of Dr. Nicholas Perry, Superintendent, effective January 17th, 2025. Anything else, Dr. Perry?
Nothing at this time.
Okay, thank you. Item I, finance items. Mr. Moed is our chair.
No items to report, but we will be having a finance meeting on the fourth to discuss budget, moving forward with the budget.
Thank you. Okay, public comment on any item you want to talk about? Hearing none? You mean, do them first. Okay. Start with the high school. Mr. Vakovan is going to be the representative this evening.
Good evening. In the high school on October 24th, Mrs. Damp held her Ookie Spooky Cabaret featuring her musical performance class along with the chorus. Just so you're aware, the high school musical was announced this week. It is called Nice Work If You Can Get It, and it will be held February 27th to March 1st. On October 30th, the marching band in review was held by Miss Lewis and her marching band, performed their halftime show along with a number of other musical selections in our auditorium. On November 7th, Ms. Stallone and students in her business leadership class organized a community bonfire. There's a really nice turnout for that event, probably over 1,000 people in attendance. They did that to raise awareness for mental health and also celebrate our school and our community out here in the front of the high school. And lastly, heading into the holiday season on November 25th, the Central Valley Food Pantry will be passing out turkeys and baskets to those families in need in the community.
Good. Thank you. Got it. Just one or two further comments. Band was in Beaver at the Veterans Day Parade.
Yes.
And I not only got a personal phone call, but I got someone else that came up to me and said the band did terrific. It was one of the biggest bands down there.
Yeah.
And they performed well. So you want to pass that along. And secondly,
Always do a great job.
I was going to say this later on when I come around to the board, but to follow up with Mr. Ambrose said, I also talked to some people that were there, don't have any people involved in the band, just happened to be there, and said we were the best band down there. The presentation was fantastic. We should be proud of our kids and our sponsor.
Oh, sure.
So you can relay that information.
I will. And second thing, I think you just turned out is it Warrior Way?
Yes.
Okay. Another great job in helping promote that for our school.
Yeah, Ms. McCracken, their journalism class really put a lot of good work into it, and it's come a long way.
Sure. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Mr. Dolph will be representing our Center Middle School.
Good evening, everyone. The middle school just wrapped up its first 9 weeks. We published and recognized our honor roll students, and they have just moved on to their second rotating arts rotation class for their encore. So they're excited to embark on that new class on the new second 9 weeks. This past Friday, during our advisory, our students created Veterans Day cards in recognition of Veterans Day, and we shipped those out to the local military. We had recent Central Valley grad Katie Kerr come in and speak to the 8th grade class the other day. She did a fantastic job telling them about her educational journey through middle school all the way to an Albright scholarship to her doctoral in, I want to say, bioengineering, currently at the University of Pittsburgh. Great to see her. It's very nice to hear her story and have her share that with our kids. Our Brave Warriors are currently prepping for our upcoming Warrior Games before the holiday season. Art students are collaborating with the high school art students, and they're going downtown to paint the storefronts downtown Monaca here in the upcoming days. And then we just posted our upcoming Christmas dance for December 6th. So our student body's excited to have their first school dance of the year. Sit at the middle school.
Before we bring the next person up, I'd like to personally apologize to the citizens of Monaca, okay? And our administration and students for saying that Mr. Dolph was from Center Middle School. I don't think that's the first time it would be said, and I'm sure it's not the last time, and my apologies. Thank you. Okay, who's next on board? Ms. Farragotti.
Hello. On November 6th, we held our first Golden Ticket Party. The Golden Ticket Party is held each 9 weeks with the grade level that has the most blue and gold tickets, and the fourth grade was able to celebrate it. So they were very excited. We had some volunteers from the PTA to come out and help out. On November 7th and 8th, we had our parent-teacher conferences. It was great to see all of our parents come in, talk to about their students and their academics. This week, we're holding Kindness Week. We have a Spirit Week and some kindness activities. And we also celebrate the end of the week with Josh and Gab that is sponsored by the PTA.
Hey, thank you, Ms. Farragotti. Ms. Kasanovich, representing K through 2.
Good evening, everyone. Some of the same things that Ms. Farragotti also said. We ended the first 9 weeks strong. The parents came in for parent-teacher conferences on the 7th and the 8th. We did have our Warriors of the Month were announced for the students who had all blue tickets for our Warrior Way, and then they get picked out of a hat. We had our Halloween parties and our parade, which was really successful. There were a lot of parents at the school watching the kids parade. We also are doing kindness activities and also having Josh and Gab tomorrow at our school to celebrate Kindness Day. And all of our grade levels are doing Veterans Day activities. They did before the parent-teacher conferences, and all of them are celebrating veterans in their own families and their friends. And they line the walls of the school with pictures and writings. And we are now, believe it or not, starting to practice for our 2nd grade Christmas show.
Great.
Busy at Center Grange.
I was on my way to Center Grange when you had the Halloween parade. I got to the school. I said, I can't get anywhere near it. I just
Yeah, there were a lot of people.
Those are exciting times. Thank you. Ms. Park?
It's hard to believe we already have a quarter of the school year under our belt, but things are going well. For those parents who have children with IEPs, progress reports should have gone home, so you can see how they're doing towards their goals. This month, we have the start of academic games for our gifted students who are in grades 4 through 12. And on December 6th, we'll have some students through Special Olympics participating in a bowling competition. And since I'm always recruiting, we're looking for any individuals who want to be part of our Special Olympics Polar Plunge team, and also looking for paraprofessionals if anyone knows anybody interested.
Thank you. Representing athletics, Mr. Saccone.
Not a whole lot to report, but as you guys are aware via emails and communication through the papers and stuff, our varsity football team will be in the semifinals of the WPIALs on Friday at Montour versus Elizabeth Forward. If we are fortunate enough to win, we'll be playing at Acrisure Stadium on Saturday, the 23rd at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock's the start time. As fall sports are coming to a close, winter sports is here. So Friday's the first official day, this Friday, 15th, with scrimmages, our first scrimmages happening the following Saturday, the 23rd as well. I believe we have one with the girls basketball team at 10 a.m. at home. Those sports that'll be starting would be boys and girls basketball, 7th and 8th grade boys basketball, varsity and junior high wrestling, swimming and diving, and gymnastics. And I believe we just got the schedule for unified bocce. That'll also be starting here in December through January and February. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Saccone. All right, moving right along.
I have nothing.
Nothing? Okay. Any board member comments?
Mrs. Park, can we get the polar plunge information forwarded to us, the board? Thank you.
And if this weather continues to be on a warm cycle, I may even join the polar.
Never again.
And the water will be too cold.
Make a big splash. Okay, any other board members?
I would just like to congratulate Joan and the business office, everybody involved with the budget on having obviously a great audit, from the audit. I got, everybody's doing a nice job. Congratulations and keep it going.
Thank you.
And also pass it along to this quiet gentleman next to me. I mean, I just want to congratulate him once again for the year he put in. I know he's a great negotiator. He's a great bottom line man. Appreciate all your input as well as Jones. Thank you. Okay, anything else?
Yes. I was at the Veterans Day Parade and our band made us very proud. They put on a great show. I mean, and they very, very good showing.
Good, good. Okay, anybody else? Okay, we will be going into executive session, so you want to explain
Yes, I
what
can.
this is about?
The board will be going into an executive session immediately after tonight's meeting to discuss personnel matters, and they will not be returning.
Okay. Motion to adjourn. Mr. Bloom, seconded by Mr. Moab. Meeting adjourned.